Now let's take a look at CD transfer links. CD transfer links will transfer everything that targets one object to now target another object. For example, here we have two pyramid objects, and each one has an aim constraint on it with the sphere in the target link. If we select the sphere and shift select the cube and call the command, now the pyramids are targeting the cube. CD transfer links will also include all Espresso nodes that are linked to the object. For example, here we have a cube with an Espresso tag on it and a user data slider that is controlling the height of the cone. If we transfer the links of the cone to the pyramid, now the user data slider is controlling the height of the pyramid. CD transfer links was mainly added as a convenience function so that when your file becomes quite complicated with many objects, you won't have to search through the object manager and manually change the objects in the links. You can use the command and a couple of mouse clicks and you're done. While in the process of recording this video, I decided to add another transfer command, and it's called CD transfer align. And what it does is align an object's axis up to the target. If we hold the control key down and open up the options, you can choose to align the x-axis, the y-axis, or the z-axis. To use the command, you select the object, shift select the target, and call the command. CD transfer align also works in group mode, so that if you select the object and shift select more than one target and call the command, the axis is aligned to the center of the target group. CD transfer align will also work from within a hierarchy. For example, here we have a hierarchy of objects, and suppose we wanted to align an axis of this object up to the cube, but we wanted the other two objects to stay where they are. We'd select the object, shift select the cube, hold the shift key down and call the command. If the object is an editable object, we can use CD transfer align with the axis tool to align the axis only. For example, we select the object, shift select the target, select the axis tool, and call the command. And you can see that only the axis was aligned to the target. If the target object is an editable object, CD transfer align can work in the various edit modes to align the object's axis to a selected component of the target object. So if we select the object, shift select the target, go into point mode, and select a point and call the command, you can see the object was aligned to that point. This also works in edge mode. And polygon mode. If we have a single object selected and that object is editable, CD transfer align will work in the various edit modes to align the axis to a selected component of the object. So if we go into point mode, select a point, and call the command, you can see the object's axis was aligned to that point. This also works in edge mode. And polygon mode. Now let's take a look at the CD Coordinates Manager. The CD Coordinates Manager can be used as a replacement for Cinema 4D's Coordinates Manager. It has all of the same features as the regular Coordinates Manager, plus it has a few additional features. So let's close out the regular Coordinates Manager, and we'll dock CD Coordinates into our layout. And let's add an object to our scene, and we'll just go ahead and make it editable. Now, CD Coordinates Manager allows you to work in real-world units. In other words, I can set the unit here, and if you notice, when I change the unit, it recalculates the readouts. We can also set the unit scale so that, for example, if we wanted to work at half size, we could just set the scale to 0.5. The unit and the scale factor are both stored in the document, so that if we save this document, and we'll call it test, and close it out. And when we reopen the document, you can see that it changed our unit and scale factor in the CD Coordinates Manager. CD Coordinates Manager has three modes: local, global, and Object Plus. The local mode is the same as the regular Coordinates Manager's object mode. In other words, the coordinate readouts are relative to the object's parent object. Global mode is the same as the regular Coordinates Manager's world mode, and that means that the coordinates are now showing relative to the world's coordinate space. Now, Object Plus, if you notice, the position and rotation are now showing 0. And Object Plus shows you the coordinates relative to the object itself. And this means that we can now, if we want to move this object along its y-axis 100 units, we just type in 100, and it moved it along its y-axis. If we wanted to now rotate this object around its y-axis, or rotate it on the heading, and we wanted to rotate it 45 degrees from where it is currently, we just type in 45, and there we go. The middle section of the CD Coordinates Manager is basically the same as the regular Coordinates Manager. You have scale, size, and size plus. For the rotation, we can choose to have it display in either radian or degree. And this is just a convenience for making calculations. Since most of your math calculations are in radians, if we rotate this 45 degrees, we can switch to radians to see what that value in radians would be. Now let's take a look at another convenience command that I've added to the plugin. It's called CD Select All Same. And what that does is, if I select an object and call the command, it will select all of the same type of object in the document. Now I could change a parameter on all of the objects at once. For example, if I wanted to change the radius of all the spheres. This command also will work with tags. So if I select a tag and call the command, it will select all of the same type of tag in the document. Another example of where this command comes in handy is suppose I have a character rig here and I want to put all of the joints on their own separate layer. Now I could manually go through and select all of the joints, but as you can see here, this rig really has a lot of joints in it. So what I can do instead is select one of the joints, call the command, and then right click and add to new layer, and now all of the joints are on their own separate layer. CD Transfer Tools also has a couple of tags. There's CD Transfer Selected and CD Zero Transformation. And each one of the tags also has a setup command that will set the tag up for you. First, let's take a look at the CD Transfer Selected tag. And what that does is when we add that to an object, it allows us to select that object and have it automatically select a target object. So let's go ahead and use the setup tool to set that up. We would select the object, shift select the target, and call the setup command. And you can see the tag was placed on the object and the target object was placed in the link. Now when we select the object in the viewport, the target object is automatically selected. This also works in the Object Manager. If we select the object, the target object is automatically selected. We can turn that off by turning off the transfer on. And now we can select the original object. This also works with tags. We can have the object automatically select a tag. Let's select the object and then select a tag and call the setup command. And now every time we select the object, the tag is selected. If the target object is a selection object, then when we select the object, all of the objects in the selection objects list will be selected. Now let's take a look at the CD Zero Transformation tag. Let's go ahead and add a tag to the object here. And the CD Zero Transformation tag gives us an additional set of coordinates here. These coordinates work just like the regular coordinates. We can move and rotate the object, and you can see the parameters change here in the Attributes Manager. We can also change the parameters here, and it will change the object in the viewport. The difference between these coordinates and the regular coordinates is that we can set the position and rotation to 0 at the object's current world transformation. So if we click on the Zero Transformation button, you can see the position and the rotation were set to 0, but the object remained at its current world transformation. Now, this really comes in handy for writing expressions, because we can wire our expressions up to these coordinates, and we'll have a good 0 starting point for the calculations. If we rotate or move the object from this point, we can return it back to its zeroed out transformation by clicking on the Return to 0 button. There's also a Lock Zero Transformation. If we enable that, then it locks that current zeroed out transformation, and we can move or rotate the object, and we can't accidentally zero it out again from this position.